Good morning again. We're here for the Mayor's budget hearing with Justice Integration Services, and welcome. Before we dive in, I do have a brief statement to make at the beginning. First, I'm joined this morning by the Finance Director, Talia Lomax O'Neill, and by the city's Chief Strategy Officer, Brian Kelsey. I know Council Lady Taneka Vircher, the Budget and Finance Chair of the Metro Council, has also joined us this morning. Over the last couple of years, we've had significant increases in revenue, more than $200 million, which have allowed us as a city to expand some services and to provide some improvements to most of our departments. This year, we're not likely to have quite as big an increase, in part due to a record number of property tax reappraisal appeals that have been successful. That will result in a slightly lower number in terms of property tax revenues. Nevertheless, we intend to stay within the $3.15 urban services property tax assessment rate and continue to provide the level of services that we provided this year and last year to the city. So, with that in mind, and knowing that y'all have already talked to finance and are well aware of the status quo nature of this year's budget, if you could introduce yourself, and I see Judge Mondelli there with you, and give us a brief overview of the department, and we'll probably have a couple of questions at the end.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm here. My name is Mike Mondelli. I'm here as chairman of the JIS Policy Committee. The Policy Committee is a group of elected officials who the council decided needed to govern the operation of justice information systems. It was formed over many years ago, the late 1990s, and it is made up of, as I said, our elected officials. Part of the operating structure of JIS involves a working committee that our executive director, Natalie Steers, is in charge of, and she directs over 19, maybe 19.5 employees in our Justice Integrated Services Agency. We serve only the criminal justice agencies of Davidson County. And she's the executive director, has been since 2006, and I would like for her to present our budget requests.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you all for hearing us today. As you know, as Judge Mondelli just stated, JIS provides technology services in varying degrees to 15 justice and public safety agencies across Metro. Now, technology itself is a very broad term. We do provide infrastructure setup and maintenance and support and all those things that go along with keeping applications running and maintaining data. But as far as applications are concerned, years ago, it was quickly realized that because of the uniqueness between jurisdictions across the state and across the nation, really, it is very difficult for vendors to be able to create any kind of standardized court case management systems that fit all needs. And it's very expensive then for government, in turn, and in this case Metro, to be able to pay for the customization unique to that city for those apps and the ever-changing needs for those applications. So years ago, JIS took on the applications that were initially developed and continued to perform all the customization going forward, and then the addition of new modules over time where necessary, and then where necessary and fiscally appropriate later on, created entire new applications to fit into the suite. So in addition to everything I mentioned before, we also provide full software lifecycle development for those case management systems, and we also serve as integrators in partnership with all these departments to provide full and real-time integration between the applications, starting with the arrest at the police department. We also integrate any off-the-shelf products that do fit needs into that suite so that it all becomes part of a seamless, integrated process. Now, the level of integration that we have here in Nashville, even after all these years, is still very unique. And of course, in addition to speeding up the court process, it reduces data entry and increases accuracy. Another unique quality that we have amongst us is because of the long-time relationship between all these departments and JIS, there is an application and business knowledge which exists that provides for a good free-flowing exchange of ideas and information and allows us to create and execute vision very quickly. And whenever the need arises that there is something that needs to be done in an emergency or quickly, or there's a mandate or legislative change, we can be very flexible. It's just a matter of changing priorities. There's no, not a lot of red tape, no budget requests, anything like that. We just remain flexible and move. So some of our recent accomplishments affect the true backbone of everything and keep things running smoothly. Unfortunately, those are not always as exciting to non-technical folks as they are to us, but those are the things that when they go wrong, everybody notices it right away. So some of the things that we've talked about and you see that were funded in recent years was a new backup system which was greatly needed and greatly appreciated to address the data that had grown and continues to grow exponentially. We also upgraded Oracle at the back end of our systems in this past 2 years, so that we can now operate on newer tools. It's more efficient, and what it did also was reduce the hardware footprint which we operate on. In terms of the applications themselves, just a few highlights. In leveraging existing software and knowledge and skills and a great team working between the Circuit Court Clerk's Office and the JIS team, we were able to build an application and put it into production for the Traffic Violations Bureau, and we did that in 6 months. Using those same, again, leveraging all of that and using those same methods, we were able to deliver and put into production a victim witness application for the district attorney's office. In terms of services that reach out to the public, we are actually at a really nice period in time because we have so much behind us, so much data collected, again, with the integration that we have and share. We have the data, and then we also have the capability to provide those services and get that information back out to the public. And that really is just only limited by the resources we have to carry out that vision, really nothing else. So we continue to do that through the web. Recently, we are able to give probationers the ability to pay probation fees through the General Sessions probation site. Also, we've expanded the ability to pay on the criminal court clerk's website, so now all fees can be paid through their website. And I might add that the criminal court clerk's website has received another award, and I believe this is an international award that they received for their website just recently, I think within the last 6 months. And they do have a lot of information there, and information that we pull from the systems and make available to attorneys as well as the public. And we've talked about those in recent years and in other budget hearings. There's also an e-filing project underway for the 3 clerks, Circuit Court Clerk, Criminal Court Clerk, and Juvenile Court Clerk. And we're all working together and working with a vendor to get that implemented, and then we will integrate all of that into all of the systems. This past year, we've worked extensively with pretrial services to modify their application as a result of the recommendations that were made through the grant-funded study, and I think that was talked about earlier. So we made all the modifications in their system to do that. And we also worked in collaboration with pretrial as well, and with NYU, BetaGov, and Bloomberg on a texting project pilot. And the goal of that is to reduce failure to appears. We are 1 month into that project right now into the testing phase. And I will tell you that as far as the last news I heard, it was at 100% appearance rate for those who received text. So that is something that we are looking at, sending out text for all sorts of things, because as long as you can trigger something in an application and send out a text, I mean, sky's the limit. So we are very excited about that. Now, I could go on all day, because I am excited about the work that we do. I'm always moved by the collaboration that exists between all of our departments. We get to do great work. And I think very meaningful work. And to top it off, I get to go to work every day with some of the most talented people and most dedicated staff. So I'll stop here, and I want to thank you again for having us, and I'll take any questions that you may have.
Go ahead, Tony.
This is just a really simple question just for the listening audience, because you said you served 50 public safety agencies.
15.
I thought you said 50.
Oh, no,
I was like,
no.
Okay, let's.
15.
I was like, people are going to be confused by that. Are you breaking it down? But you said 15?
15.
Okay, thank you for helping me with my hearing. The other thing I wanted to ask you about was whether or not any of your data is available in the open data portal, because you talked about access now to all of this data.
Yes.
So I'd like to just kind of hear from you about if you're looking at that or what might be available to the general public.
Yes, we had a lot of conversations about that, because even actually before all of that came about, so much of that information was readily available. And there was talks, especially with the criminal court clerk's office. And I don't know, yes, the short answer is yes, it is available. Yeah. It is. I believe it is also available there, because there was conversations on whether it should be available in both places, and on the open data portal, there was also the ability to then take that data and do certain things with it. So in other words, make information available to the public in certain forms and that kind of thing. I think there was also a lot of talk about, well, in terms of what we make available and how we make it available on the website, we may be sort of duplicating things. So how that ended up, I'm not sure in how much is there or how much is in both places. But I do believe that the flat files and the flat information is all available there.
Okay.
And it's mostly for criminal court clerk, because a lot of it cannot be made available because of, the.
Okay. I just want to make sure I touch on this one thing that is in the mayor's packet, and that has to do with the Oracle funding. ITS was able to go out there and to negotiate better terms. Right, Judge?
Yes, ma'am.
This has been a long-standing issue that we've had with Oracle, and they were able to get more favorable terms for the city if we consolidated the contract.
Yes.
So you will see in this year's budget proposal a request from IT to put that in their budget where we've consolidated the contract, and then we're pulling back the amounts that were previously in the departmental budgets. But overall, the city will receive a savings with its contract from Oracle. And Judge, you might want to comment on that whole discussion, just for the mayor to have background on that. It's been a long road.
We only have 15 minutes. So I think you've covered it well enough.
Okay, but it is definitely good for the city, in my opinion. Yes.
Well, it's good.
Okay.
But I would like to make one comment about this agency's ability to work with other agencies and their flexibility. Within the space of 1 week, they made an adjustment on one of our arrest procedures down there that would normally have taken anywhere from 6 to 9 weeks, and it helps the magistrates down there. Believe it or not, there are times down there when a case comes before them and they issue in a warrant, and there's no mention of any domestic violence in the warrant, but as the case proceeds down the process, the people in domestic violence look at it and say, well, this is a domestic violence case. How come you missed it? And believe it or not, those things happen. They're disguised one way or another, not intentionally. They were asked to put a checkbox on the arrest warrant to make sure that that question was answered. Is this domestic violence, yes or no? Within the space of 1 week, they had it done, and that's step one of 2 others we're going to take to prevent that from happening. So they work pretty good when they have to.
Okay.
One question. This is actually about your 18 budget. I see you noted here that you hired an applications developer.
Yes, we did.
So this is my own just curiosity. I mean, I moved here from Austin, Texas last year, and a lot about how impossible it is to hire good technology people in the public sector because you can't compete. So I'm just curious, what was your experience like finding somebody and hiring somebody for that position?
You know, it is difficult because we offer a lot less money than our competitors down the street in private sector. But I think, and I'm not just saying this, but I think that, you know, in IT, it's very difficult to find work where you actually get to see the fruits of your labor, to get to see how it affects, you know, the people you're building it for. And I think that's a lot of what helps to draw people. Because it's not often where you get a project and, you know, it gets nixed or it goes away and you didn't even know, you know, why or what happened to it. These people get to, you know, we all get to be a part of something bigger. That's what helps people to stay. In finding them, you know, it's hard, but we have lucked out every time, and as long as you can keep people, it's a good thing. And we've got some developers there that have been there a long time with us now. So, and it's been working out great. We've been able to, the TVIS project, or the Traffic Violations Bureau application that I spoke about earlier, that is a huge application. And I said that it went out in 6 months because of how well it worked. We're now expanding on that and replacing 2 or 3 additional applications and putting them into this one place, so they won't have to maintenance in several different areas. And this person, bringing this person on board, is very instrumental in making that happen.
Thanks.
Thank you all very much for coming. Appreciate the I think it's actually better than a status quo budget. Is that not right?
That's why I brought it up. You guys need to.
So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We'll remember that.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.